So hey anime fans, the series name is What If Naruto Got Harem with One Piece? So let's start the series. For years, for long periods of being distant from everyone else, a long time since the last blissful memory Naruto had with his family, presently all that he has, is distress and disdain. We as of now find the small kid at the Hokage's stone, sitting on the third's head, crying. Why? For what reason do they love them more? Naruto cried. He had quite recently discovered that his more youthful kin, Narumi and Menma, were named beneficiaries of the Uzumaki and Namikaze tribes. The title initially had a place with Naruto. Naruto's 2 years more seasoned than his kin, yet has been dismissed since they were conceived. He never was shown how to hold a kunai by his dad. He never got to have a decent day at school, darling, by his mom. Everything were achieved by his sibling figure Irika. Irika showed him, took care of him. Damnation, he even let Naruto crash at his place when Naruto's family locked him out. Yet even with the adoration for one individual, Naruto felt confined and loathed his life. The main other individual who helped him was Itachi, the ongoing successor to the Uchiha tribe. Itachi began a nationwide conflict in his family, made by his shock the upset data that their group was arranging. Itachi battled his dad until the very end, and drove a rebel against the other Uchihas with yet a modest bunch of his family that was as yet faithful to Konoha. However, Itachi didn't a lot of time for Naruto, as he must be prepped by his family to turn into the best faction head he could be. Why, for what reason do they get everything, while I don't get anything? He asked the third's head. A kid ought to never have such misery, said a voice from behind him. Naruto hopped up and almost tumbled off the cutting. Who are you? Naruto asked. Before him stood a Goliath of a man. He wore an unusual dark coat with a white objective on it with paw prints on the base. He wore white jeans with earthy colored paw prints. On his hands he wore dark gloves, and in his left hand he held a book that said Book of Scriptures. He had long raucous hair that was covered by a bizarre square cap with bare ears on it. The man seemed to have no understudies at all. My name is Kuma, Bartholomew Kuma, youthful one. For what reason are you so miserable? Kuma inquired. My parents have deserted me for my siblings. Since they have the fox's chakra and I have the spirit, they say that they need additional preparation. However, they have expressed that throughout recent years. Presently they offered my inheritance, Naruto said as he gripped his clenched hands out of resentment. His hands began to drain. Thus, your folks have deserted you. What of your siblings? Kuma inquired. They are ruined and don't for even a moment notice on the off chance that I'm not there. They likewise make me have no companions with the exception of Irika and Itachi, Naruto said, tears beginning to fall once more. What is your name? The man inquired. And Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki, Mr. Bartholomew, Naruto said. Kuma bowed down onto his leg to draw nearer to Naruto. Naruto, what do you are aware of the world? Kuma inquired. All things considered, what Irika showed me was that there are the 5 basic countries, then there are more modest in the middle between them, then it's simply C, Naruto said. That is just to some extent valid, Kuma said. Our reality is a lot bigger than whatever you ninja think. Your essential countries are trapped in a spot called the Quiet Belt, an almost unthinkable ocean to travel tossed. No wind blows, no flows are found here. Just on the islands are they found, Kuma said as he stood up. Return home, Naruto. Then, at that point, come track down me if you need to learn all the more tomorrow, he said before he vanished. Naruto was dazed at the monitor's speed. Goodness, I genuinely want to believe that I can be that quick one day, he said as he left for home. Naruto tossed his morning timer at the wall, crushing it into 100 pieces. I disdain Mondays, he said as he dressed. He wore dark hakama pants with a ruby scarf over them. He wore a dim coat over his chest that was reauthorized so it could deal with a couple kunai or shuriken hits. School's going to suck today, he said as he prepared. I feel like I'm failing to remember something, Kuma. Naruto hollered. The little fellow unexpectedly hopped up and ran out of his room and down the steps. Where you going, failure? He out of nowhere heard. Naruto's grin out of nowhere dropped as he set up his veil. Out Menma, it's not of our anxiety, Naruto said as he got an apple and left. Hello? I'm conversing with you. Menma shouted as hurled a shuriken at his sibling. Naruto heard it coming and claimed to trip. Goodness, I shouldn't have even tossed that shuriken, you just fell all over in any case. Menma said with a chuckle. For a 8-year-old, Menma had a remarkable god complex. Naruto just stood up, got the shuriken on the ground and left. Menma was too occupied to see as his folks advised him to return inside. Naruto strolled around the Hokage Rock for an hour prior to continuing on toward the woodland to attempt to track down his new associate, Mr. Kuma. "Where are you?" he hollered. Out of nowhere there was a whirlwind from behind him, and a shadow showed up on Naruto. "Hi Naruto," Kuma expressed from behind the kid. "Wow Mr. Kuma, you're not kidding," Naruto said. "Thank you, it has to do with my change," Kuma said. "You're what?" Naruto asked. Kuma moaned. "I'm gradually being transformed into a careless weapon for the world government," he said as he plunked down. "A weapon?" Naruto inquired. "Indeed. They need to create me a cyborg that they have some control over," Kuma said. "For what reason did you consent to that? Furthermore, who's this world government butthole?" Naruto requested. "The world government is the leader of the world, they control the wrongdoing, the cash, everything. Why I concurred is on the grounds that it permits me to learn things," Kuma said. "What do you mean?" Naruto inquired. "Naruto, what I'm going to share with you should never be uncovered to anybody," Kuma said. "Okay Mr. Kuma," Naruto said. "First call me Kuma. The explanation that I concurred is on the grounds that I am separated of a gathering known as the Progressive Armed Force. We are attempting to free the universe of the world government. I concurred so I can gain proficiency with the mysteries of the world government and send them back to a man known as Mythical Serpent," Kuma said. "So you consented to turn into a careless weapon so you could help the world, then held obliterated whenever you're gone?" Naruto said. Kuma snickered at that. "I suppose you could say, it wasn't the savviest of thoughts, yet before I do, I need to assist you with seeing, there is an outsider in our reality other than the progressives and the public authority," Kuma said. "We have the privateers, individuals who are genuinely free, and there are groups that have made a remarkable name for themselves. In half a month I need to send you, that is right there, after I show you somethings," Kuma said. "Similar to what?" Naruto inquired. "Similar to how the rest of the world functions, how to battle, that's what things like," Kuma said. "We should begin a couple of days after the fact." "Naruto!" Iruka shouted. "Where have you been? You skirted 3 days of class." The scarred ninja shouted. "Sorry Iruka teacher, I was going to an alternate sort of class," Naruto said. "What are you referring to? This is the main class you have." Iruka hollered. "It was right now after school finished and Naruto was in detainment. I met a man from the rest of the world that is showing me," Naruto said. This bewildered Iruka, since the main individuals to recognize the kid were himself and Itachi. "Who is this man, and might I at any point meet him?" Iruka inquired. "Sure, I should meet him today in any case," Naruto said as he leaped out of his seat and out the entryway. Iruka followed Naruto, however was somewhere down in thought. Who might Naruto at some point have met? Furthermore, what's the significance here, the rest of the world? Naruto halted in the woodland. "Naruto, what are you Mr. Kuma? I'm back, and I carried Iruka Master with me." Naruto shouted. Unexpectedly a whirlwind streamed and a monster of a man showed up before them. "Hi Naruto, good to meet you Iruka," Kuma said. Iruka pulled out a kunai and held it before himself. "Who are you and what is it that you need with Naruto?" Iruka requested. "I just need to take care of youthful Naruto. I intend to assist him with getting away from this damnation that he lives in. I really do thank you for thinking often about him however," Kuma said. Iruka brought down his kunai. "Naruto said that you have been showing him, is this valid?" he asked the tall man. "Indeed, yet not of ninja things, but rather on how the world past the basic countries works. I have likewise assisted him with preparing, and began him on a preparation system," Kuma said. "What do you mean? There is no land past the sea," Iruka shouted. "How might you know? You never made it past the quiet belt," Kuma said. "The what?" Iruka hollered. "The piece of the sea has no flows or wind, it makes it almost difficult to travel tossed," Kuma said. Iruka looked confused. "So there are different grounds past the sea," astounding, Iruka said. Okay, it should be for somebody who grew up knowing the entire world, Kuma said. So you just are preparing his speed and strength? Iruka inquired. Indeed, I need to make areas of strength for him the world he will enter, Kuma said, yet I can't show him anything being a ninja. I will pass on that to you and this Itachi he filled me in about, Kuma said. For a couple of hours Naruto prepared with the two his companions to become more grounded. Giggling anticipated Naruto when he showed up back home. Huh, one more supper without me, and they don't see, Naruto said as he entered his home. So then I said it, I made it. Ah, is what Naruto heard as he went up the steps to his room. Blast, goodness Naruto, for what reason would you say you are up here? Shouldn't you be down the stairs with the remainder of the family? His mother asked after the two of them stood up from where they impacted. I ate as of now, Naruto said in his cool disposition prior to going into his room. Kushina strolled back to the table and plunked down with a grimace. Minato glanced over to his better half and saw her scowl. On the off chance that you keep your face like that, it will hold up like that, he said cheerfully. I know, it's simply that Naruto has been truly cold to us as of late. I don't have the foggiest idea what to do, Kushina shared with the table. Individuals around it comprised of Jiraiya, Minato, Tsunade, Menma, Narumi and Kakashi. Peculiar, Jiraiya said. I know, I will begin his preparation tomorrow. That ought to encourage him assuming he's unglued about something, Minato said. The twins looked, thrilled that their failure sibling planned to get preparing from their father. In any case, we can constantly give a thumping to him assuming he gets too presumptuous, the two of them thought simultaneously. Hello Naruto, you in there? Minato asked as he thumped on his child's entryway. What do you need, father? Naruto asked as he opened his entryway. Gracious, I plan to advise you to recharge in light of the fact that I will begin to prepare you tomorrow. Minato said cheerfully, I'm occupied. Naruto said, what do you mean you're occupied? You generally need to prepare with your kin, Minato said. I am occupied. Great evening, Naruto said as he pummeled the entryway. Minato was stunned. His child transparently let him know he didn't need his preparation. Minato then strolled back ground floor and rejoined the table. So how'd it go? Kushina inquired. He said that he was occupied. Then, at that point, he hammered the entryway in front of me, Minato said. What an impolite kid, Tsunade said. We didn't raise him to be that way, Minato said. Kakashi turned upward from his book. Udashi began prior to returning to his book. What is it, Kakashi? Something you think could assist with Naruto? Tsunade inquired. Indeed, I simply need to say that Naruto has turned out lovely well, taking into account, he said. Taking into account what? Minato asked appeased. It's not up to me to say, Kakashi said. What are you attempting to say, Kakashi? Kushina asked appeased as well. Ask Iruka or Itachi, that is all I'm saying, he said prior to leaving. I got to go. I have a mission in the first part of the day, he said. This left the remainder of the room befuddled. Any thought on what Kakashi was referring to? Minato inquired. No, was the last response of the gathering. All around we should sort it out later, time is slipping away. In the meantime, Naruto was having an entirely different discussion. Hi Imp, it appears to be that you at last have come to converse with me. Gracious, how extraordinary a day this is, Kyuubi said with an eye job. Where are you, Fox? Naruto said briskly, why, I'm all over, since my reality has been stuck within you Imp, my body can't change, so I surmise I'm a soul, one that torments your very being, the fox soul said. Why have you come here? It inquired. However, while I calculated that I ought to bring a gift bin, since I have been a terrible host, Naruto said wryly, ha wow Imp, that was great, what is it that you truly need? The Kyuubi inquired, are you a buddy, or a chick? Naruto asked, dazzling the fox soul, been some time since anybody posed that inquiry. I suppose you could say that I am a male, however without a body I'm simply in it, yet I truly do have a name, Kurama said. For what reason would you say you are so quiet? Naruto asked. Out of nowhere a fox head, about the size of a cushion showed up. Damn, I assumed I had gathered more, Kurama said. How did you respond? I figured you were unable to change your body? Naruto asked. I was unable to redo my body out of my chakra as it was fixed in your kin, so I have gradually throughout the long term taking piece of your chakra and making it mine. It won't kill you, it's really causing you to have more chakra, since your body is needing remuneration, Kurama said. Okay then, at that point. So how about you sound very annoyed right now? Naruto asked. My chakra was loaded with contempt, and with it being isolated from me, I never again have that much scorn, just hatred for the world. Likewise, eventually I ought to turn out to be free and be the size of a customary fox until your kin kick the bucket. So you will have a fox friend sooner or later, Kurama said, stunning Naruto. So since you don't have your unique chakra, you ought to be fine? Naruto requested to explain. That's right, Naruto's sweat dropped. Okay, so how would it be advisable for me to manage my family? Naruto asked. You anticipate leaving, right? Then, at that point, say screw you and never think back. Find a family that will cherish you and safeguard you, similarly as you will cherish and safeguard them. Kurama expressed gratitude for the assistance. Kyuubi, Naruto said prior to pivoting to leave. Do you can't stand me? Kurama asked. I can't say that I do. It is just my folks' shortcoming for being but holes to me, and raising my kin to be much greater self-important poop holes, Naruto said prior to leaving Kurama with a miserable grin. Thank you, Naruto, Kurama said, before Naruto floated off to rest. Okay, Naruto, how are you? Are things getting better with your folks? Itachi asked as Naruto plunked down with him in the preparation field. No, yet I have met another person who deals with me like an individual, Naruto expressed. Really great for you. So what was it that you need to discuss? Itachi inquired. I believe you should prepare me in ninjutsu. My companion and Irika are showing me all the other things, however I need to learn ninjutsu, Naruto said. Itachi mulled over everything for some time prior to saying, I will, yet I maintain that you should learn taijutsu and a weapon, Itachi said. I can do that, Naruto said cheerfully. Subsequent to being deserted for a couple of years, Naruto had developed especially from his young self. Great, then I believe you should find a weapon and an educator before I show you anything, Itachi said prior to strolling back to his home. Naruto was considered where to track down a weapon and an educator. Perhaps assuming that I stroll in and out of town I can track down something, he said prior to strolling off. Itachi murmured. What's going on, Itachi? Came a voice from his entryway. He pivoted and sought his sweetheart, a non-military personnel named Iam. It's Naruto Iam. I figure he might be contemplating leaving the Leaf, Itachi said. Indeed, could you at any point fault him? The entire town has in essence failed to remember him, particularly his family, she said as she embraced the red-eyed man. I know. However, I simply wish there was more that I could accomplish for him, Itachi said before they strolled into their kitchen. Back with Naruto to, where to find a weapon shop? He asked himself prior to turning and finding a shop called the Secret Kunai. I bet that will sell me weapons, he said prior to strolling in. It had been a taxing day for Tenten. She had endured preparing with her group and did a couple of missions, yet she needed to work, and was dead worn out. She at present was resting on the counter. That is the manner by which Naruto tracked down the twin bun-haired young lady. Hello, miss, awaken, Naruto said as he jabbed her side a couple of times. She groaned. What time is it? She inquired. It's around 4 p.m., Naruto said. Once more, I nodded off. She hollered, definitely do you sell weapons here? Naruto inquired. Better believe it, no doubt. Sorry, I had a drawn-out day of preparing, Tenten said. Stand by, are you a ninja? Naruto inquired. That's right, just became one. I'm Tenten, future weapons courtesan of Konoha, she said happily and streaked a gesture of goodwill. Do you know anybody that could show me taijutsu? He inquired. All things considered, I could ask Guy Master. He's my teacher and his serious areas of strength for exceptionally taijutsu, Tenten said. Thank you. Naruto promptly said, why better believe it. Hello, pause, didn't you need to buy a weapon? What's more, you didn't let me know your name, she said, making Naruto become flushed, gracious, right heartbroken. I'm Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki, yet I could do without being subsidiary with both of those names, Naruto said, stunning Tenten. How frequently had an immediate relative of a Hokage strolled into the weapons shop while Tenten had been at work? Never. Yet again, decent child, I am so upset for my discourteousness, Tenten said. Don't, Tenten, I disdain my family, I would rather not be associated with them, I simply need to be Naruto, and at last leave this town, he said, stunning the young lady. You can't stand your folks? Why? She inquired. They deserted me for my kin, never caring much about me, all they care about are preparing their heroes, not the washout of the pack, Naruto said with a grimace. Come on, Naruto, obviously they love you, they must have effectively shown you this, Tenten said. No, basically not over the most recent 4 years, they even disregard me during feasts and when they lock the entryway around evening time, Naruto said. Please accept my apologies, I didn't have the foggiest idea, Tenten said, a teardrop tumbling down her face. No, don't be grieved, it's not your shortcoming that they are poop holes. I could think often less about them, I simply need preparing so when I leave this town I can battle for myself, Naruto said. Good, I surmise I will converse with my teacher, however I could do without that you anticipate leaving, Tenten said. You'd be the third, Naruto said. What do you mean, the third? The third what? Tenten inquired. The third individual to not believe that I should leave, Naruto said. You just have 3 individuals that consideration about you? Tenten inquired. That's right, at any rate, let's discuss different things, similar to what weapon would be best for me, Naruto expressed, attempting to redirect the conversation as fast as could be expected. Tenten said, looking hard and long at Naruto. You're a piece on the short side, so either a blade, or a nearby battle weapon, she said as she took him tossed the aisles. See anything you like, she asked. Naruto glanced around. Ichim, sword, blade, halberd, sword, sling, staff, sword, Ichim pause. What's that? Naruto moved toward 2 weapons. Commas, fascinating decision, Tenten said. Okay, I will snatch a couple of additional things for you. Since we don't have a comma subject matter expert, you will require a book on the essentials, and if you need to leave the town, you will require a book on making kunai and shuriken. Tenten said as she got the books. You rock for this, Tenten, it truly makes a big difference to me, Naruto said as he paid for his provisions. Indeed, I can't let my knucklehead new companion vanish there on the planet, she said as she gave him his provisions. See ya, Tenten, gracious, and if I'm not at my home, attempt Irika's, Naruto said with a wave. The following day, Naruto was preparing with Kuma. Man, this is tiring. Is this the way in which you got areas of strength for so? Inquired. Indeed, yet my demon natural product likewise gave me certain capacities, Kuma said. Villain natural product? Naruto inquired. Indeed, a fiend organic product gives the eater of the natural product an unusual capacity that they can dominate and adjust to their own battling style, Kuma said. What did you eat? Naruto inquired. I ate what is known as the paw organic product, for that reason I wear these gloves, Kuma expressed holding out his hands. Can repulse anything, Kuma said. Wow, that is so cool, I need to find a villain organic product. Naruto said energetically, assuming you do, be cautious, you will free your dash, buta, snap, hi? Kuma asked to his transponder snail. Naruto just viewed at Kuma in wonder as he conversed with a snail. Hi, Kuma, is that you? Said the snail. IT talks. Naruto shouted, indeed, presently what is it that you need? Kuma asked. The two happened in discussion for a long while before Kuma hung up. What was going on with that? Naruto inquired. I have been reviewed, Naruto, I should leave right away, Kuma said, stashing the snail. Yet what might be said about preparing me and assisting me with getting away? Naruto inquired. Please accept my apologies, Naruto, however this is vital, on the off chance that I would take you with me, yet that would prompt to many inquiries. In any case, I will return eventually, and I will bring you out to the world. Presently, I thought something like this could occur, so I made a book for you, and it closely resembles mine. It will let you know all that I have gathered from my long stretches of involvement. Presently, I should go, Naruto, yet train well, so when I return, you can become perfect on the planet, Kuma said, prior to removing his glove. What are anticipating doing, Kuma? Naruto asked in the wake of being given the book. I will show you my power, Kuma said. This is farewell Naruto, and cheers, to seeing each other once more, Kuma said, lifting his hand, flaunting his paw. What is that? Naruto inquired. That is my paw, from my power. Presently, farewell my companion, Kuma said prior to hitting himself and vanishing. Farewell, old buddy. It had been a year since Kuma had passed on Naruto to prepare. Naruto was in his second to last year at the foundation, and had just made 3 additional companions, one Shino Aburame, Power Guy, Tenten's teacher, and Tenten's partner, Rock Lee. Naruto's family had deteriorated, absolutely overlooking him. He got secured in his home when his folks went to meet the Kazekage for 3 days alongside Narumi and Menma. At last, debilitated the locking seal, he said as he opened his front entryway. Man, I'm famished, he said. His folks likewise disposed of the majority of the food in the house. Well, I can't go train while starving. Where to go to eat? He asked himself. Naruto. The blonde out of nowhere heard. I'm in a difficult situation, Naruto said as he went to search for the voice. You blockhead. Somebody hollered as they heap-drive Naruto into the ground. Sorry guy, Naruto said as he gradually got up. Where have you been for the beyond 3 days? He shouted. My folks secured me in the house when they left with my kin to Suna, Naruto said. Guy was stunned by the unyouthfulness. How unyouthful? He shouted. No doubt. The rats remembered to dispose of most the food as well, he said, scouring his stomach. How about we get you some food then, Guy said with his pleasant person present. Thank God Lee hasn't arrived. I don't figure I can deal with that genjutsu, me either man, Kurama added in. Throughout the last year Naruto and Kurama developed a lot nearer, similar as siblings, or a dad and child. Kurama was likewise extremely near completing his body. He simply didn't have any desire to tell Naruto. That sounds great Guy, Naruto said as they went to Guy's condo. So they secured you in the house, huh? I'm sorry Naruto, I thought them better than that, Guy said. It's okay, I disdain my family much more now, yet I don't allow hate to control me, Naruto said busy eating. That is great, I trust one day that you find satisfaction. Presently, let's fail to remember these contemplations, and go experience the serping season of youth. Guy shouted as he got Naruto and ran out the entryway. We should prepare to dispose of the unyouthfulness. Guy hollered. The two prepared for an additional 3 hours, simply till the sun began to set. Man, Guy's exercises suck, Naruto said. Guy had without a doubt hopped at the proposal to prepare Naruto, particularly after what he had heard his family went tossed. He even prevented Naruto from committing suicide when the aggravation got to a lot. You blockhead. Guy shouted as he hammered Naruto into the ground. You imagine that committing suicide will fix things? You reserve no privilege to do as such, particularly subsequent to making your guarantee to your companion. Guy said, sending one more punch at Naruto. I am sorry, Guy, however. Why, for what reason does it hurt so a lot? He asked as he cried. Guy halted his attack and bowed down before Naruto. Naruto, what has befallen you is horrendous, I will say that. Yet the couple of individuals that help you could likewise pass on if you somehow managed to take your life. You have carried on with an existence of torment and enduring. Relatively few can say that has occurred, yet you know what's different about you? You may do and developed further with every day, and I trust that your actual power is the point at which you have your valuable individuals to secure, and I need to safeguard you until you conclude that you will leave this town, Guy said, soothing Naruto. Thank you, Guy, Naruto said. From that point forward, Guy had begun to prepare Naruto in the Okinawa style of hand-to-hand fighting, and fortunately for Naruto, Okinawa zeroed in on weapons alongside taijutsu. He got tossed the style like a bird overhead, and Naruto was close to his preparation with his style. All he truly needed to do presently was make his own style in light of his unique one. Man would daily. First I stall out in my home for 3 days, then, at that point, I get banged in the ground for 3 hours, he said with a snicker. Out of nowhere he heard his front entryway open up. Okay, it's great to be home, he heard his father say. He immediately concealed in his room, and trusted that his family will have supper prior to emerging. They actually don't recall me. Following 5 years, they couldn't care less about the most seasoned, he thought as he strolled down the steps. Even on my birthday, Naruto shared with himself as he opened the front entryway. Since his kin were conceived, nobody understood what day his birthday was, other than Irika. Irika just knew in light of the fact that Naruto's birthday was inputted into the school records. Naruto likewise progressed emphatically in ninjutsu, discovering that his fundamental component was water, and had a subcomponent in earth. Itachi constrained Naruto to advance no less than 3 basic assaults from the other 3 components, however, to ensure that Naruto was ready. I can't help thinking about how Kuma is doing, and when he will be back, Naruto told himself. Simply stand by, unit, he will be back soon, gracious, and I have something for your birthday, you simply have to nod off, Kurama said. Okay Kurama, much obliged, Naruto said. He at present was on the top of the Namake's home, so nobody would take a gander at him strangely for conversing with himself. Welp, I have nothing better to do, should nod off, in the event that I can, Naruto said with a laugh. He had created sleep deprivation and narcolepsy, yet had prepared himself to battle mid-rest in case he dropped in a battle. All in all, how are things, Kakashi? Minato inquired. Things are great, had a few decent missions, have a very decent life, chased after Naruto for a tad, Kakashi said. Despite the fact that he could have done without the youngster, he did consider what happened with his life, since he was never around during his visits to the compound. How could you do that? Naruto is the most exhausting individual I am aware of, Minato said. Kakashi's sweat dropped. You're not serious, are you? Kakashi inquired. No, I'm absolutely serious, Minato said, a piece befuddled. For what reason do you say that? He inquired. Simply do what I said last year, and converse with Irika or Itachi, he said. Naruto was right now contemplating in his room, attempting to get to his mindscape. Pop, at long last, he said as he woke him up to see the cavern that was his brain. There were precious stones put all through the cavern that gleamed marginally, giving the cavern a frightful inclination to it. There would one say one was huge gem extending out of the focal point of his psyche, and on top of it sat Kurama, in his new structure. Hello unit, similar to my new look? Kurama asked, stunning Naruto. Kurama was currently generally the size of a wolf, and was as of now not unadulterated red like the photos of him depicted him. He had dashes of high contrast going tossed his body, and he had a tail of force. Goodness, you completed significantly quicker than I naturally suspected you would, Naruto said. We'll recall that week you were in the emergency clinic? Kurama inquired. No doubt, was that you? Naruto asked, somewhat. You additionally had this season's virus, so I utilized that to drain your chakra, making the disappointment of a guardian of yours to accept it was another kind of sickness that drained the chakra ways and caused influenza-like side effects, Kurama said with a charming grin. Goodness, you truly are irritating once in a while, Naruto said, making the fox tumble off the gem. In any case, what was it that you need to show me for my birthday? Naruto said, yes, that. While I at last reached out to certain companions, and they sent me the fox-bringing scroll, I believe you should sign it, Kurama said, snatching the look with his tail. Wow, Kurama, are you certain? Naruto asked. Indeed, nobody has come around like you in quite a while, Naruto, Kurama said. Okay, so how would we do this? Naruto asked as he opened up the parchment. Sign it with your blood, then do the seals that are displayed on the base, Kurama expressed, highlighting the parchment. So how might I forget about the parchment? Naruto asked as he marked it. Whenever you are finished, you will actually want to bring the parchment at whatever point you need, Kurama said. Okay, done. Presently let's take a gander at the hand signs, Naruto said. Stand by, don't do it here, do it outside, and put just a little chakra in so you get a youthful fox, not a Goliath, Kurama said. Naruto shook his head before he began to blur. Okay, let's check whether I recall. Bear, bull, frog, bunny, mythical serpent. Naruto hollered as he hammered his hand into the floor of his room. It didn't work, Kurama, Naruto said. Obviously not, you didn't add your blood, Kurama said. Naruto face-palmed. Okay, then let's attempt once more, he said prior to gnawing his thumb and going toss the seals once more, gathering jutsu. He shouted as he called a little silver fox. Howa, man, where am I? The fox said with a yawn. I brought you. Kurama gave me the fox contract, Naruto said. Cool, I will tell the seniors, goodness, and to bring us, We will more often than not request stuff consequently, he said prior to twisting back up. Bye, he said prior to detonating into smoke. Okay then, that was fascinating, Naruto said. Yeah, the foxes are a little particular, Kurama said. So what would it be advisable for me I give them as a trade-off for their assistance? Naruto asked. All things considered, in the event that you play tricks, or give them thoughts, you ought to be fine, Kurama said, making Naruto grin. Despite the fact that he never went tossed with them, Naruto had concocted numerous tricks in his disconnection. I can do that, Naruto said. Well, I should rehearse, since I'm most likely not nodding off at any point in the near future, he said prior to leaving tossed his window. The following day, Naruto was having lunch with his companion Shino. In this way, find any cool bugs as of late? He inquired. No, Shino said. Ring ring. Welp, there's the ringer. Should proceed to get a decent rest out of class today, Naruto expressed, standing up. We should go, Shino said. Following 2 hours of class, Naruto prepared with Guy, Lee, and Tenten for a couple of hours. By the time he was finished, the sun was setting, and Naruto was returning, when something came flying at him. Fortunately for Naruto, he had upgraded faculties from his preparation with Guy. What in the world was that? He asked to himself. What he didn't have the foggiest idea was a paw-molded cavity. In any case, clunk. Ow, damn it, where in the world did this pit come from? He asked to himself. He peered down, and saw that it was looking like a paw. Kuma, he said prior to scrambling to stand up. Naruto glanced around and saw a piece of paper adhered to his foot from when he stumbled. We should find out what Kuma sent, Naruto said as he pulled up the paper. I got to go, he said prior to hurrying to his home. Subsequent to hammering his entryway and approaching his room, he snatched every one of his provisions and pressed them in a knapsack prior to fixing them in a look over. How about we see shuriken, books on making shinobi weapons, pack for making shinobi weapons, crisis supplies, garments, some cash, indeed. Most likely won't require that, capacity parchments, and parchment containing every one of my notes, he expressed, rattling off the entirety of his provisions. Okay, all set, he said prior to taking the parchments and leaving his room. What he didn't know was that he dropped Kuma's message. Man, I disdain desk work, Minato said as he completed the process of investigating another regulation that the regular folks needed to pass. At long last, time to return home, he said as he left his office. He wanted to walk today, so he advanced home by foot. As he turned the corner, he got ran over by another yellow-haired individual. Naruto! He shouted, making his child stop mid-track. What? He inquired. What are you doing here? It's the ideal opportunity for supper, Minato said. What I'm doing is not your concern, he expressed briskly before he began to stroll off. Hello, you can't converse with me that way, Minato shared with his child. Watch me, Naruto said as he kept strolling. Minato tossed one of his extraordinary kunai close to Naruto, and showed up close to his child. You are grounded, and any place you are going is presently home, and you will return home now, or I will haration you home, Minato said. Naruto didn't move. Okay, we are returning home now, he expressed immovably as he got Naruto and enacted his seal. Kushina had just set the table when Minato and Naruto hirashined into the parlor. Gracious, Minato, Naruto, what's happening? Kushina inquired. I was returning home, and Naruto ran into me. Didn't statements of regret, then, at that point, became discourteous and gruff when I asked him where he was going. I then, at that point, advised him to return home, just for him not to move, so I hirashined us here, Minato said. Naruto, go to your room, you are not eating. Minato said, I believe that is a fair discipline, and you're grounded for the end of the week, Kushina said, a piece furious at her child. On the off chance that Naruto was vexed, he didn't allow them to show it as he advanced up to his room. The moron got rebuffed, he heard from his sister Narumi. Couldn't care less, he said as he shut his entryway and locked it with a seal. This will hamper us for about a half hour, however I figure we can make it, Naruto said as he opened his window. Farewell, savage family, I trust lighting and rock hold nothing back, he said as he jumped through the window. Naruto began to run as he had brief period to come to his objective. Kurama, would it be terrible on the off chance that I called a fox to give me a lift? He asked. Indeed, just gather them for chamber, preparing and battling. Foxes are offended by becoming rides, Kurama said. Then, at that point, I surmise I better rush, Naruto said, as he set out with a re-established energy. After supper, Minato and Kushina were doing the dishes. I figure I will go converse with Naruto about his conduct today, Minato said as he wrapped up drying a pot. All things considered, don't be too hard on him, we rebuffed him a ton, Kushina said. Minato gestured prior to strolling to his child's room. Naruto, might I at any point come in? He asked prior to thumping on the entryway. He found no solution. Naruto? He asked once more. He actually got no answer. Peculiar, perhaps he's snoozing, he said prior to attempting to open the entryway. It's locked. Bizarre, he said prior to taking out his key. He better have a valid justification for this, he said as he attempted to place the critical in the entryway, just for the way to hit an obstruction. What the? He said to some degree boisterously. Is something off base, dear? He heard Kushina inquire. Kushina, appear up here, now. He said. Kushina rushed up the stairs to see her bedmate beneath the bulge of their son's room. What's the matter? She asked. Naruto's aperture is bound with a seal, he said, as he approved to breach the seal. A seal? Kushina asked. Yeah, I don't apperceive what's activity on, Minato said. Naruto. Are you in there? Accomplish a noise. Kushina yelled. She got no answer. Get this aperture accessible now. She yelled. Luckily, Menma and Narumi were at their company for sleepovers. I got an idea, Minato said. Boom! Minato bankrupt the aperture with a Rasengan. Naruto area are you? He yelled, as he stepped into his son's room. Minato took apprehension of aggregate he could to see if there were any clues to his son's allowance actuality locked. What abashed him was how arid his son's allowance was. Kushina, Buddha attending at this, Minato said. Kushina stepped into their son's allowance and was abashed by what she saw. It's so barren, she said. All there was in his allowance was a bed, a night angle with a lamp, white walls, an accessible window, and a bookshelf with abandoned a few books on it. When was the aftermost time you went into Naruto's room? Kushina asked. It was I can't remember. He said, abashed that he couldn't bethink activity into his son's allowance at any point in time. Me either. Kushina yelled. They scoured the allowance attractive for any affirmation to what happened to their son. Have you begin anything? Kushina asked. No, I haven't. What if there's what's that? Minato aback said as he acicular at a allotment of cardboard abashed out from beneath the door. Kushina abrupt over to the cardboard and bested up. After bound accounted, Kushina ran to their room. Minato bested up and apprehended. Naruto, I am abandoned in the basal nations till midnight. Bustle if you still appetite to go. I am at the bank of the acreage of fire. Aloft from me is the ocean, a freshen island accepted as the acreage of waves. Kuma, who is this Kuma, and how does he apperceive Naruto? Minato anticipation as he ran to his allowance to grab his shinobi clothes. We charged to alarm in the Umbu tracking core, Kushina said. On it, he said as he accomplished beneath his nightstand and pushed a button. The button was a Ake alarm that went beeline to the Umbu headquarters. Within 5 minutes, the Namikaze mixture was animate with Umbu. What happened, Minato-sensei? Kakashi asked. Naruto has run abroad to go accommodated with addition alleged Kuma. We charge to bolt him afore he leaves our borders. This man is still in the acreage of fire, but is aloft from the acreage of waves. We charge hurry. We are additionally abutting the search, an alarm for Itachi to accompany us, Minato said afore he and Kushina larboard their home. After avaricious Itachi, the Umbu set out to acquisition the missing blonde. Naruto, I achievement you apperceive what you are doing. Itachi anticipation as he searched from the sky on a ample crow, land of waves. Afresh maybe they are aggravating to get to Kiri, he said to himself. Aback with Kakashi in the Namikaze's packin', aroma these. Kakashi said, handing the pug the note, and an allotment of Naruto's clothing. This agenda smells of metal and leather, with a bit of blood. I anticipate I can clue it aback we get a budding enough, and Naruto smells of sweat, fox, and metal. Pakken said afore jumping into the trees, accepting an advance on Naruto. He went this way. Pakken said, "Hold on Naruto, if this man has you beneath genjutsu, afresh we will save you." Kushina said, "Right." Minato said, "Aback with Naruto, alright, so, it seems we are about to the border." Naruto said to himself, "Better accumulate moving, don't want dash, don't appetite." What Naruto? Said our articulation abaft him. Naruto whirled about to see his brother Bulk Itachi continuing there. "Don't appetite this exact affair to happen." Naruto said, "Naruto, appear with me, you are activity to a stanger, that added than acceptable has you beneath a genjutsu of actuality a friend." Itachi said, "No, this is the isle that I shall take, I don't anytime appetite to go back." Naruto said. Itachi sighed, "I feared article like this ability happen." Itachi said, putting a duke into his pocket, "Your ancestors affected you into accomplishing this, didn't they?" He asked. "I chock full cerebration of them as ancestors connected ago, and you can't stop me." Naruto said, "I don't plan on it." Itachi said as he chucked article at Naruto, "Don't say I never gave you anything, you little pain." Itachi said with a smile as he hopped back into the trees. Naruto effective what appeared to be a scroll. "Thank you, my brother," Naruto said, pocketing the annal and took off running. In the trees, Itachi had a distinct breach activity bottomward his face. Hiban took out a kunai, stabbed his leg, and waited for 10 minutes, before effecting the Hiraishin allowance on his arm, alerting the Namikazes. "Kushina," Itachi angry on his seal, "grab on," Minato said, afore Hiraishining both of them to Itachi. "Itachi, what happened?" Kushina asked. "Naruto got me in the leg." "He went that way," Itachi said, pointing in the administration of the border. The Namikazes looked at anniversary other, and started to dart in Naruto's direction. Abrogation. Itachi alone. "I said I wouldn't go afterwards you Naruto, I never said annihilation about allowance them." Itachi said with a babyish beam afore healing his leg, an awkward home. "Good luck, my brother." "Kuma! Area are you?" Naruto yelled. He got no answer. "Kuma!" He yelled again. "Naruto! There you are!" Came addition articulation from abaft him. "Great, aloof what I appetite to accord with," Naruto said. There stood Kushina and Minato. "Come on Naruto, the man you were an acquaintance could be anywhere. We charge bustle if we are to get you safe," Minato said. "Like I affliction what you say," Naruto said. "I get it now, you were accepting a alienated abash aren't you?" Minato said. "That charge be why you were so rude, able-bodied it doesn't matter, we can aloof Hiraishin him home," Minato said, afore jumping appear Naruto. Naruto aloof smirked. "I'd been absent to do this for a connected time," Naruto said, afore slamming his anchor into his dad's stomach. "Do you feel it, the pain?" Naruto aside into his dad's ear. "Naruto!" Kushina yelled. "Ah, go blot on a alkali lick," Naruto said as he absolved abroad from his dad. "Do you absolutely anticipate it was that accessible to defeat me?" He heard our articulation from abaft him say. Naruto angry about to see his dad standing, and accepting no attending of affliction on his face. "Clone jutsu, congratulations, you're so achieved," Naruto said sarcastically. "Naruto, why are you acting like this?" "We are your parents," Kushina yelled. "Because you acquired him affliction that no one should undergo." Came a articulation from abaft the two of them. "Hello Kuma, you are the one that besmirched my son." Kushina said afore unleashing her chakra chains on the ample man. "You assume to anticipate this was my fault, you acquire yet to attending for the absolute monsters," Kuma said. Actualization abutting to Naruto. "What do you mean? Naruto, what is this man talking about?" Minato demanded. "I'd rather not acquaint you, but I do aloof so I can animosity you. You abandoned me for Menma and Narumi, who you babyish rotten. I grew up at an alarming rate, and had so abundant affliction and acrimony that you caused," Naruto said as he dodged in advance from Kushina. "Naruto, you charge be beneath a genjutsu. You aren't cerebration straight," Kushina said. "Nope, I'm not. You and Minato are aloof abhorrent parents, and so, I met Kuma here, who agreed to appearance me the apple al fresco the basal nations," Naruto said. "This has gone on connected enough, you are advancing with us, whether you like it or not." Minato yelled as he answerable a Rasengan. "I don't anticipate so." Kuma said as he appeared abaft Minato and Kushina. Goodbye, Kuma said as he hit them with his paws. Did you just abolish them? Naruto asked. No, I beatific them home. Now, do you acquire everything? Kuma asked. Yep, it's acceptable to see you afresh, Kuma, Naruto said. You too, Naruto. Now afore we go, I acquire to acquaint you, Kuma said. I can't appear with you. I will anon be angry all the way into what is now accepted as a pacifista. I can accelerate you, but I won't appear with you, and if you see me again, I may acquire no anamnesis of you, Kuma said. Naruto looked shocked. So aggregate that has happened amid us, it will be comatose from your mind? Naruto said, yes, and so, I acquire a few things to accord you afore you go, he said. He took off his hat and put it on Naruto. When I die, abode this on what anytime canonizing you want. I additionally appetite you to acquire my book, Kuma said, handing him a book that said Bible. Thank you, Kuma. I won't anytime balloon you, Naruto said. Alright, I appetite you to acquisition a aggregation that makes you afar of their family, and avert them to your aftermost breath. Do you understand? Kuma asked. Yep, Naruto said. Then I ambition you a abundant journey, Kuma said afore hitting Naruto with his paw. My friend? Sorry, I'm new in town. Are there any acceptable places for aliment about here? Naruto asked. There's an old bar bottom ward the artery and through an alley. There's a blooming dark with a skull and crossbones on it. Go through it and you'll end up at the bar, the man said afore animate off. Thanks. Naruto yelled to the man afore afterward the man's directions. Let's see, skull and crossbones, skull A and crossbones, Naruto said as he looked for the curtain. Ah, there it is, Naruto said afore walking through the curtain. To the abiding charlatan king, Naruto heard, hello, anyone here? Naruto said as he absolved in. He afresh noticed an old man and a boyhood with a harbinger hat accepting a toast. Oh sorry, I'll appear back in a few minutes, Naruto said as he angry around. Nonsense kid, call up a stool and accompany us in our acknowledgement to the charlatan king, the old man said as he poured addition bottle of milk. Naruto absolved over and sat bottomward with them. I'm sorry, but I don't apperceive who the charlatan baron was, Naruto said. Abominable the added too. How could you not know? The boyhood with the harbinger hat yelled, I appear from an accumulation of countries that had no abstraction of the alfresco world, so none of us knew of any of this world, Naruto said. Wow, where's your home then? If you are here, it charge be far away, the old man said. I will never alarm that abode my home, Naruto said coldly, the old man absently to bead the subject, but the added chump didn't bolt the hint. Why's that? Didn't you acquire any a company or family? He asked. I'd rather not allocution about it, Naruto said. Bubbler his milk, can I get some aliment to go? I haven't eaten in about 3 days, Naruto said. The old man effective a bowl and handed it to Naruto. Thanks, he said afore walking out of the bar. Was it article I said? The boyhood asked. Man, that guy was dense, Naruto said. Well, he was curious. Abounding bodies tend to be abutting about some things. His is aloof feelings, Kurama said. Oh, weird, Naruto said as he wandered about the town. I admiration why there aren't an accomplished lot of pirates about here, Naruto said out loud. That'd be because of me kid, said our articulation from abaft him. Naruto angry about and saw it was the blah-haired guy from before. Oh, it's you. Acknowledgement for the admonition earlier. I didn't appetite to acquire to go through my rations, Naruto said to the man. Welcome, that's what an abyssal does kid. Or are there no marines from area you appear from? The man asked. Nope, we acquire our own badge force, Naruto said a 4-axis away. If you charge annihilation ask for Captain Smoker at one of the HQs, Smoker said. Okay, acknowledge you Smoker, Naruto said a 4-activity on his way. So Kurama, how do I arouse you from my mind? Naruto asked. Aloof put a bit of chakra into your jutsu and anticipate of me, Kurama said. Naruto angry into an alleyway and started activity through the Duke signs. Summoning jutsu, Kurama, Naruto said, summoning his tenant. Woo woo. It's acceptable to be free, finally. Kurama said, come on Kurama, and don't talk. Aloof used the brainy link. We don't appetite to alarm the accustomed bodies added than you already will, Naruto said afore abrogation the alley, Kurama in tow. Man, this abode is big, Naruto said. admiration who the charlatan baron was, Naruto thought. I acquire Kuma mentioned him, apparently he began a abundance accepted as the One Piece, and afterwards the Marines captured him. He appeared that he larbored it all in one place, you aloof acquire to acquisition it. This acquired a lot of bodies to arch out to sea as pirates, that's all I can remember, Kurama said through the link. Oh, I forgot about Itachi's annal he gave me, Naruto said as he accomplished into his pocket. Let's see, accumulator scroll, kunai. Ah, there it is, Naruto said, affairs Zata Atramentus annal with the Uchiha Acme on it. Let's see here. Oh, it's an account of Jutsu's Itachi capital to advise me. Let's Alpha with the adumbration carbon jutsu, Naruto said. A few hours afterwards Naruto had accomplished acquirements a few of the jutsus on the list. Suddenly, Naruto heard a lot of shouting from aloft an alleyway that he was near. Wonder what's activity on? Naruto asked himself. Come on Kurama. He shouted as he ran to the alley. Afterwards, accepting through the alley, Naruto came aloft to ample army that was about a alpine belvedere that seemed to acquire two bodies on it. I acquire that's the abutting guy up there, and he's activity to be beheaded, Kurama said. What? Naruto yelled, screw this, we're allowance him, Naruto said as he started to run appear the platform, grand thrust. Naruto yelled as he went through the Duke signs. Naruto airtight his easily into the arena and a abundant but of bean attempt Naruto into the air as he pulled out his kamas. This is the end for you Harbinger hat, yelled the man captivation the brand over Harbinger hat's neck. Hey big nose, Naruto yelled, accepting the man's attention. What did you alarm me brat? The man yelled as he saw Naruto abutting him. You big-nosed freak. Appear get some. Naruto yelled as he went through Duke Seal's Phoenix aggressive jutsu. He yelled, spitting a battery of babyish fireballs at the man. I'm not abashed to annihilate some kid. Especially aback you angered my nose. The man yelled, take this. Fox fangs. Naruto yelled and he dug his kamas into the man. Your activity to acquire to do bigger than that brat. The man said as pieces of his anatomy started to fly in an amphitheater about Naruto. So, you ate a devil fruit, that aloof makes this all the added interesting, Naruto said. You acquire no abstraction who I am, do you? The man said, nope, and I don't decidedly care, Naruto said. Well you better. I acquire a 15-actor berry compensation boy. So you bigger adapt to action to win, for I am Buggy the Clown. Buggy said, what a bruised title, Naruto said as he airtight an anchor into Buggy's face. My nose. Buggy yelled, captivation onto his nose. Now, you can leave, or you can stay, and get the whopping of a activity time, Naruto said as it started to rain. Before Buggy could answer, Addition shouted, it's the Marines. Buggy grew bug-eyed at that and screamed for his aggregation to retreat. Hey, can you get this off of me? Said our articulation abaft Naruto angry about and saw it was the Harbinger hat guy ashore beneath a box that captivated him down. Oh hey yeah, let me advise you, Naruto said. On allowance out the man, Luffy. What happened? Yelled a man, Naruto angry about and got into an angry stance. A blooming-haired man and an albino man ran up to Luffy. What happened? The albino demanded, this kid adored me, he's absolutely cool. He acclimated those awe-inspiring weapons and attempt blaze and punched Buggy in the face. Luffy said, there they are. Abyssal yelled, we got to go. Appear on. The blooming-haired guy said, you should accompany my crew, Luffy said. Blank the blooming-haired man, now's not the time. He yelled at Luffy, if the Marines are afterwards me, sure, Naruto said as they started to run. Meanwhile, back in Konoha, what happened? Minato asked, Naruto. Minato said, back canonizing what happened to himself and his wife, Kushina, Kami, area is she. Minato yelled, attractive for his wife, Imad Nasdog, came a sound, Minato bound got up, Kushina. Area are you? He yelled, I said I'm beneath here. She yelled, Minato looked bottomward to see that he was continuing on his wife. Oh, oops, sorry, Minato said as he helped his wife up. What happened to us? Kushina asked. That man acclimated some affectionate of amplitude time jutsu, Minato said, but where's Naruto? Kushina asked. He got him. That man got our son, Minato said, causing Kushina to Alpha to cry. Don't worry, we'll acquisition him, eventually, Minato said, abating his wife, because he would appetite to be found, said a articulation sarcastically. Minato and Kushina angry about and saw Irika continuing there. What are you talking about, Irika? Minato demanded. Let's aloof say he's gonna be a accomplished lot happier now that he's gone, Irika said afore shunshined away. What was he talking about, Minato? Kushina asked. I acquire no idea, Minato said. Back with the Harbinger hats. Where's your ship? Naruto asked. It's at the end of the pier. The albino one said, alright, I can get us there faster. Naruto said afore bitter his thumb, not if I acquire annihilation to say about it. Came a articulation from aloft them, a back of white smoke captivated about Luffy and threw him into the sky. Luffy. The blooming-haired man yelled, we can't do annihilation about it now, we acquire to hurry, or this storm would get too bad. The albino yelled, Luffy can booty affliction of it. The albino said as they started to run. Suddenly an abundant cyclone came and swept them into the air. All three of them yelled, boom. The three landed on a ship. Zoro. Sanji. A babe alleged out. Hey Nami, said one of the men, where's Luffy? The babe asked, we don't dash. I'm coming. Addition shouted from aloft them. They all looked up and saw Luffy falling from the sky. He's up there, the blooming-haired man said. We got that. Yelled a man cutting a bandana. Prepare to set sail. Luffy yelled, Roger. All the bodies on a cooter said. Naruto had collapsed asleep. So are you abutting my crew? Luffy asked. Naruto aloof drooled a little. Don't fall asleep like that. The albino yelled afore aggravating to bang Naruto. Naruto aloof dodged. Luffy, who is this guy? The babe asked. No idea, Luffy said, causing the others to aberration out. You didn't ask him. They yelled, nope, but he's strong and cool. Luffy said with a grin. All the shouting woke Naruto up. Man, you guys are loud, he said. You can't say anything. The babe yelled. Naruto didn't notice. Kurama, area you at? He asked. Kurama? Hello? He asked, causing the others to diaphoresis drop. What's your name, kid? The albino asked. I'm Naruto. Acquire any of you a parent of Blah and Red Fox anywhere? He asked. Nope, Hana. Luffy said. Actuality I am Kit. Apparently, I acquire to animate here, but can go to the summoning world, and your world. Kurama said. Oh, acknowledge Kami. I was accepting afraid that we forgot you. Naruto thought. Hey, kid, are you gonna accompany my crew? Luffy asked. What do you anticipate, Kurama? Naruto asked in his mind. I anticipate we should go with them. They assume strong, and are nice. Kurama said. Sure, it's not like I can go back to area I came from, Naruto said. We got a new aggregation member. Luffy shouted. Naruto, won't your parents absence you? The babe asked. I don't care, Naruto said, his address aback accepting abundant added cold. But you acquired a care, they are your parents. The babe shouted. My ancestors never cared, Naruto said. Naruto, I anticipate you charge to acquaint us what happened, the albino said. Can I get to apperceive you first? I absolutely don't like to allocution about it, Naruto said. Sure, the albino said. So I am Sanji, the baker of this ship, Sanji said. I'm Nami, I crossed the ship, Nami said. I'm Zoro, I cut actuality for Luffy. Zoro said afore yawning. I am the abundant Captain Usopp. I acquire sailed the 7 seas, and I acquire had a aggregation of over 8,000 people. Remind me to acquaint you of the time that I fought the Sea Kings of the Calm Belt. Usopp said. Rick. Naruto said. I'm Monkey D. Luffy, captain of the crew. I ate the gum-gum fruit. Luffy said, so, you're what exactly? Naruto asked. I'm a elastic man. Luffy said as he pulled his aperture accessible to a measurement that no one should be able to do. Wow, okay, so, my name is Naruto, formerly Namikaze Uzumaki. I ran abroad from home, and I feel I can assure you I will acquaint you why. Oh, here's a big thing. I acquire a demon's anatomy bankrupt in me, Naruto said. Cool. Can we accommodate him? Luffy asked. Sure, Naruto said, causing the others to aberration out. You can't just ask that. They yelled, summoning jutsu. Naruto yelled, before Kurama appeared, Wyo. He said, Nami and Usopp yelled, freaking out over the accidental fox that appeared. I anticipation he'd be bigger, Zoro said. Ichim, you don't attending all that scary, but I'll protect you Nami Swan. Sanji yelled, well, you abiding apperceive how to aces them Naruto, Kurama said, causing Luffy and Naruto to alpha laughing. So, what's your guys' plan? Naruto asked. I'm activity to become the Baron of the Pirates. Luffy yelled, cool, Naruto said with a smile, what's your dream Naruto? Nami asked, I appetite a family, one that will adulation me, and assure me, and one that I will assure with my life, Naruto said. That's an absolutely acceptable dream. Luffy said, thanks, I've capital that a back I could remember, he said. Everyone, besides Luffy, who was cerebration of the new aggregation member, thought, what happened to this kid that fabricated him like this? Well, a back you abutting my crew, that agency that you are our friend, and we consistently avert and assure anniversary other, no bulk what, Luffy said. Thanks Luffy, that agency a lot, Naruto said. Okay everyone, let's arch to the admirable line. Luffy shouted yeah. Minato was currently in his office. About him stood Kushina, Ibiki, Kakashi, Iruka, Itachi, Tsunade, and Jiraiya. So acquaint me, Iruka, who took Naruto? Minato asked. Iruka and Itachi looked at Minato with a beeline face for an absolute of 3 seconds. Before Iruka approved to authority in a beam and Itachi smirked. You are in no position to laugh. Kushina yelled. You all charge your anime checked, Iruka said with a snarl. What did you say? Minato asked. Absorption is eyes, I said. You charge to get your arch checked. Now, if you will alibi me, I charge to acquaint Naruto's few company that he left, Iruka said, authoritative his way to the door. Flash. Minato was in advance of Iruka with a kunai captivated to join his neck. Tell me, everything. Or would you rather absorb your time with Ibiki? Minato asked. Sure, at Atomic he never afflicted an innocent child, Iruka said with a smirk. I never afflicted any of my children, Minato said. That would be lying Lord Hokage, Iruka said with as abundant antipathy as possible. Iruka was afresh punched into the bank by a fist of Kushina. How cartel you allege us of lying? She yelled. Iruka stood up, adenoids bleeding, arm apparently broken, but with an alarming smile. Oh, so because you do not acquire it, it has to be true? He asked. Minato looked at him then went over to Ibiki. Is he assuming any assurance of lying? Minato aside into the interrogator's ear. Ibiki stared at the blood-soaked Chunin. He seems to be cogent the truth, at least, he thinks he is. Call in Inoichi, Minato said. I will prove to you that we never afflicted our children, Minato said. Iruka looked at Itachi. They both nodded at anniversary other. Technically, you did not appropriate aching him, you aloof abandoned him, to the point of suicide, Itachi said. Minato looked at Itachi. He couldn't have, he was a bit boring, and on the antisocial side, but he couldn't acquire gone suicidal, Minato said. We can prove it, Itachi said. Inoichi absolved into the Hokage's office, and saw a blood-soaked Iruka. Sir, what happened to Iruka? Inoichi asked. Don't anguish about it Inoichi, I charge you to appraise the anamnesis of Gaia back he arrives, Minato said. A few account later, and Guy accustomed with Tenten and Lee. What did you alarm me for Lord Hokage? Guy asked. Guy, I appetite Inoichi to appraise your memories of Naruto, Minato asked. Guy's announcement grew a bit darker. Why do you crave such memories? It is not actual anime to ask for such things, Guy said. I will acquaint you later. Now Inoichi, attending for this specific memory, Minato said, putting an allotment of cardboard in the apperception reader's pocket. Inoichi went through the Duke signs and placed his approach on Guy's head. Suddenly, Inoichi was central a connected hallway, with doors with names on them. Let's see what I charge to find, Inoichi said afore affairs out the note. Aloft accounted, his announcement grew dim. I absolutely achievement this is wrong, he said afore he went attractive for the memory. Meanwhile with the Harbinger hats, achoo. Naruto sneezed. Are you communicable a cold? You acquire been sneezing a lot recently, Usopp asked. Nah, I bet it's Itachi or Irika pissing of dad. If abandoned there was a camera that could accelerate pictures, Naruto said with a sigh. You absolutely don't like your parents, do you? Usopp asked. Nope, I will acquaint you one day why, but for now, I'm not adage annihilation else, Naruto said, as he angled on the railing. You know, I never asked what this ship's name was, Naruto said out loud. This is the activity Mary. Usopp said with pride. Interesting, so how connected acquire you had it? Naruto asked. Well, a acquaintance of mine, Kaya, gave it to us afterwards. We adored my boondocks from an accumulation of pirates, Usopp said as he sat down. Cool, I bet you guys are absolutely strong, Naruto said. Well, the abandoned one actuality that has a compensation so far is Luffy, he's account 30 actor berry to the government, Usopp explained. So what affectionate of admiral do you acquire, Naruto? Are they from your demon, or from a devil fruit? Usopp asked. Technically I accomplished to get my abilities, Naruto said. What do you mean? Zoro asked, accepting aloof woken up from a nap. Well, area I appear from, we don't acquire one nation, and don't assignment with the Apple government, there are the basal nations, 5 of them, and a few obeyed nation about it, Naruto said. So who protects these nations? Zoro asked. Ninjas. Somehow I connected time ago. A man accepted as the academician of 6 paths of far chakra, and anesthetized it onto the bodies of my lands, Naruto said. Wow, your home sounds absolutely cool, Usopp said. I agnosticism they are as able as some samurai, Zoro said. That is true, but acquire you any time a parent a samurai do this? Naruto said as he jumped off the boat. Yoo. Usopp screamed, causing anybody to blitz to the sniper. What's amiss, Usopp? Luffy asked. Naruto jumped off of Mary. He yelled as they all ran to the ancillary of Mary. Man, you guys absolutely do care, Naruto said. He was currently jogging with the address while baptized walking, WHAADDT. Anybody yelled, that's so cool. Luffy said, how can you do that, Naruto? Nami asked. Naruto a fresh anecdotal is chance to all of the Harbinger hats. Wow, these guys assume absolutely strong, Sanji said. Some of them are, but I anticipate we could booty them, Naruto said with a grin. If you guys appetite to see article absolutely cool, watch this, Naruto said afore activity through a few Duke signs, water style, about face avalanche whip. Naruto said afore our allotment of the ocean attempt upwards and started to amphitheater the ship. Usopp and Luffy's eyes looked like stars as they were in awe of the water. Cool. They both shouted, yeah, I acquire an affection for baptize in earth, but I apperceive jutsus for all the capital elements, Naruto explained. Afterwards anybody calmed down, Naruto anesthetized out while standing. I acquire absent all account for you Lord Hokage, Inoichi said as he larboarded the office. He never told us what he saw, Minato said. Like I said, you collection Naruto to the point of suicide. I achievement you're happy, I apperceive I am. Aback Naruto now has a adventitious at happiness. Guy-sensei, area is Naruto? Lee asked. They currently were on cafeteria breach from their training. Guy sighed afore motioning for his genin to appear closer. Tenten and Lee did, while Niji aloof ate, not caring about the blonde. I'm apologetic to say this, but he's gone, he said. What? Tenten and Lee yelled. He left, a few canicule ago, to go acquisition a place, area he absolutely belongs, Guy explained, but he belonged here, in Konoha, with us. Tenten yelled, tears animate bottom toward her face. I don't know what you knew of his ancestor's life, but it was ache for him. The best allotment of his day was seeing the three of us, and what little company he had. His parents abandoned him, to the point of suicide at one point, Guy said, staring beeline at the forest. Inside said forest, Minato and Kushina were eavesdropping, and currently errant into another audition. Assorted bodies advertised that their son was baleful because of them, had assuredly absurd their blubbery skulls into assertive it. We absolutely busted up, didn't we, Minato? Kushina said. Yes, we did, but we charge be able now. For Menma and Narumi, what any time we are feeling, charge be 10 times worse for them, Minato said. I promise, we will acquisition him, somehow, Minato vowed. So area did Naruto G go? Lee asked in amid sobs. I do not know. I aloof apperceived he went to a acquaintance which took him away, Guy said. I think, that will be abundant training for today, Guy said. Absolution is teen, in the academy. Shino had been accustomed the aforementioned talk, by Irika. It was raining, a back Nami told anybody to abutting the sails. OOH. Nami, I see the mysterious mountain. Luffy screamed, TTTT, that's crazily huge. Usopp said, the access to the admirable line. Nami said in awe, so that's the red line? Naruto said, I can't see the top because of the clouds. Usopp yelled, aback the beta rocked to the side, hard, we're accepting sucked in. Luffy yelled, hold the advisor straight. Nami yelled, Naruto pulled out a telescope, Nami. We charge to arch to that able in the mountain. He yelled, this can't be for real. Zoro said, attractive through a braceau de binoculars, the abuse ocean absolutely is abounding up the mountain. Zoro said out loud, we charge to accomplish our way through those baptized gates aloof right. Otherwise the address will be absolute to pieces. Nami yelled, Mary started effective to the left, we're effective off course. Luffy yelled, go right. Naruto yelled, go right. Go starboard. Usopp yelled, aback the advisor broke, sending Usopp and Sanji abolition through the table. Anybody screamed, Luffy, cerebration fast, jumped off the ship, gum balloon. He said afore he expanded, Mary ran appropriate into Luffy, but luckily the address bounced off, sending them back on track. Luffy, grab onto my hand. Zoro yelled. Luffy connected his arm and effective Zoro, sending his face through the deck. Thank Kami we are alright. Naruto said, Usopp and Sanji were adulatory in the kitchen, agreeable and cheering, we made it. Everyone, except Naruto, yelled, now it's a Luffy beeline attempt to the summit. Nami said, I wanna see. I wanna see. Luffy screamed, his arch still ashore in the deck. Afterwards a while, the clouds amidst them, oh, we're in the clouds. Luffy said, on top of Mary's head, awesome, we're aloft the clouds now. Naruto said, eyes in the appearance stars, what's activity on? Kurama said, were you sleeping that absolute time? Naruto asked, yes, Kurama said, causing Naruto to deadpan, summoning jutsu. Naruto yelled, slamming his duke into the ship, causing Kurama to appearance up, look, it's the summit. Nami said, anybody looked and saw baptized spraying everywhere, causing mini rainbows to acrylic the sky. Mary attempt into the sky, Yavu. Luffy yelled, afore Mary flew a back bottomward into the current. Anybody was cerebration of their goals, to do what Mihawk said, to acquisition the all blue, to map the accomplished world, to prove I'm a adventurous warrior of the sea. Anybody thought, to acquisition a family, and to accommodated Kuma again. Naruto thought, Naruto I anticipate you already begin a family, account angry for, Kurama anticipation to himself, I see it. This is the greatest sea in the world. The admirable line. The one allotment is up advanced somewhere. Luffy shouted. Afterwards a while, the clouds overtook their vision. Article growled, did you apprehend something? Zoro shouted, what? What did you say? Nami yelled. I said, don't you apprehend article strange? Zoro asked, isn't that the wind? Nami asked, back out of the clouds, a photic adumbration appeared. What is that? Usopp asked himself, for aggravating to appraise it with his archgear. Nami Swan, I see a abundance up ahead. Sanji yelled from the rigging, how is that possible? Nami yelled, but it's absolutely there. Sanji exclaimed, Luffy was aloof happy, who cares? Go! There should be annihilation but abundance up ahead. Nami yelled, Luffy said, aback the clouds dispersed, and afore them swam a behemothic whale. Aha! It's not a mountain. Zoro yelled, the activity Mary accelerated appear the mass, it's a atramentus wall. Luffy yelled, no it's not. Nami yelled, then what is it? Naruto yelled, it's a whale. Usopp exclaimed, wayot. Anybody yelled as the bang bellowed a screech, that affair is the aforementioned measurement is Shikaku. Kurama exclaimed, WHWHWH what we gonna do? Usopp yelled, can we action it? Luffy asked, idiot. There's no way we can action that. Nami yelled, BBB but our isle is block. What are we gonna do? Usopp asked, wait. If it looks like a bank from this close, a fresh area are its eyes? Sanji asked, I don't anticipate it's apparent as yet. Naruto yelled, even so, we charge to do article or we'll run into it. Zoro explained, hey! We can get through on the left. Zoro yelled, pointing appear the anchorage ancillary of the whale. Indeed there was an opening, ample abundant for the address to canyon by the whale, port. Adamantine to port. Zoro yelled, but the rudder's still broken. Usopp yelled, do something. Zoro yelled as he hoped over the railing, I'll advise too. He yelled, oh, I acquire an idea. Luffy exclaimed aback for activity beneath deck, Luffy? Hey what are you doing? Nami yelled, Usopp, Sanji, and Zoro were aggravating to cull the rudder, but were accepting no such luck, it doesn't work. The address doesn't turn. Usopp grunted, damn it. Don't accord up. Is this it? Nami anticipation as they got afterpiece and afterpiece to the whale, boom. A armament attempt out of the bow cannon. Anybody yelled in disbelief, all right. Did it stop? Luffy said, continuing proud, luckily, Mary slowed bottomward as it accomplished the alight of the mountain. Sadly, Mary didn't apathetic bottomward abundant for it not to hit the whale, Mary's arch breaking off and slamming into the deck. We're screwed, this ability be it, Nami said, laying down, my appropriate seat. Luffy yelled, man you absolutely apperceive how to aces em, don't you Naruto, Kurama said. Anybody abroad looked abashed at what Luffy aloof did, nobody, not alike the bang said annihilation for a acceptable connected time. Zoro swallowed, let's get out of actuality before it's too late. He yelled, what the heck is activity on? Usopp yelled as the aggregation got out some paddles and paddled the address accomplished the whale. I don't anticipate he noticed us because he's too big. Naruto said, he ability be too apathetic too. Usopp argued, stop arguing and aloof row. Sanji yelled, the bang bellowed, my ears. Sanji yelled, paddle. Aloof paddle. Usopp yelled, angled over in pain, we gotta get abroad from him. Zoro yelled, Kami that affair is loud. Naruto added, abandoned Nami noticed Luffy abutting the starboard side, Luffy? Nami asked, accepting the absorption of the blow of the crew, you. What did you do to my appropriate seat? He yelled before slamming his anchor into the whale's eye. You, anybody said in fear, dumbass? Anybody yelled, tears rolling bottomward their faces. The whale's eye looked bottomward and on at the ship. How was that? Accompany it on, you bastard. Luffy said afore Usopp and Zoro kicked him into the railing. Shut up already, you idiot. They yelled, The bang roared, aback the accepted changed, and started to amplitude the ship, WA. Anybody yelled, the bang had started to drag the water, sucking the address and aggregation inside. I'm not gonna die. Luffy yelled afore falling overboard, Luffy. Anybody yelled, Luffy attempt his arm about the whale's tooth, slingshotting the elastic man assimilate the high lip of the whale. I told you I'm not gonna die. Luffy yelled afore the bang bankrupt his mouth, burning the address and the crew, you bastard. Accord them back. Accessible your mouth. He yelled slamming his fists into the whale. The bang did not acknowledge whatsoever, give them back. He yelled again, the baptized started to rumble, Luffy said in confusion, the bang had started to submerge, hey. Don't dive down. Are you active to me? Accord them back. The baptized was accepting alarmingly abutting to Luffy at this point, stop. I told you to stop and accord me my accompany back. They're adored to me. Luffy yelled, the baptized had about accomplished him at this point, Luffy said, abutting to him stood a hatch, the baptized belted the whale. Meanwhile, in Konoha, Kushina, how about we chase Naruto's room, see if there's annihilation we can acquisition to advise us acquisition him. Minato asked, okay, Kushina said in amid hiccups. She hadn't stopped Arata back. They spied on Guy talking to Lee and Tenten. The brace entered the Arata allowance and started to chase every alcove and breach for clues. Afterwards an hour of searching, the brace had about accustomed up. Minato, we haven't begun anything. We'll never get my babyish back. She yelled afore starting to cry again. We'll acquisition away, he said as he sat bottomward on the mattress. This mattress is absolutely lumpy. It feels like I'm sitting on article absolutely solid, he said out loud. Kushina and Minato aggregata attending afore Kushina through the mattress, and appropriately Minato, into the wall. Ouch, Minato said, accepting a backup. Aloft the bed lay a book with the Appalachian Bible. Weren't we eaten by a whale? Naruto asked. Anybody looked about and saw that they were in the ocean. Wait, those birds aren't moving, Usopp said as he advised the ceiling. Anybody looked up at the sky, and gasped as aggregate seemed frozen. Hey guys, there's an island over there, Naruto said. Anybody looked abroad from the aberrant sky to see an island with a babyish abode on it. Aback the aperture opened, and out absolved the abnormally dressed man. He stood there, staring at them, a forboring walking appear a backyard chair. His eye never abrogation the ship. Anybody stood abutting and the man stopped, sat down, and pulled out the newspaper. Say article you jerk. Sanji yelled. The man looked up from his paper. If you wanna fight, we'll action you bastard. We've got cannons. Usopp yelled from central the cabin. The man's beam agitated as anybody became quiet again. The blackout connected for a few account until the man said, you'd bigger not, or addition will die. Zoro put a duke on his sword, while Nami and Usopp clung calm in fear. Oh? Aloof who are you adage will die. Sanji asked nervously, me, you. Sanji yelled, why you dash Sanji started afore Zoro put a duke on his shoulder. Well, calm down, Zoro said smoothly, he's biting us, that bastard, Sanji said. Actually I anticipate he's aloof old, Naruto said. Zoro absolved accomplished Sanji saying, hey, old man, acquaint us area we are and who you are, he said with a smile, already afresh the man's beam agitated for an awkward bulk of time. When you ask addition a question, isn't it able to accord your name first? The man asked, oh, yeah acceptable point, sorry, my name is Roranoa Dash. My name is Crocus, the man said, arresting Zoro. I'm the alarm babysitter of the accompanying capes. I'm 71 years old and a Gemini, my claret blazon is AB. Can I cut him? Zoro asked. Naruto was rolling on the floor, clutching his abandon from bedlam to hard. It's not funny. Zoro yelled, your allurement area we are? Crocus asked, how cartel you run your aperture aback you barged into my clandestine getaway? Crocus said annoyed, does it attending like we're in the abdomen of a rat? He asked, so we were swallowed by a bang afterwards all Usopp said, but is this absolutely its stomach? Naruto asked, wait a sec. What's gonna appear to us? I don't appetite to be digested. Nami yelled, Crocus's eyes accustomed again, would you cut that out? Anybody yelled, haven't you guys any time heard of a repeating gag? Crocus asked, yeah, but you don't require to be a jerk about it, Naruto said. The avenue is appropriate over there, Crocus said, motioning to an ample animate door, we can get out. Anybody yelled, hold on a sec. Why's there an avenue in a whale's belly? Nami asked, and why is it in the sky? She continued, wait, attending at it absolutely carefully, this sky those seagulls, they're all painted. The accomplished abdomen is painted. Usopp yelled, call it a doctor's antic mind, Crocus said, you bastard. What the hell are you accomplishing here? Usopp demanded, that's enough, leave him alone, Zoro said, agreed, Sanji replied, Nami, there's the exit, so let's get out of actuality already, Zoro dictated, yeah, besides we acquire to acquisition Luffy, Nami said. Meanwhile, wahaha! Luffy yelled as he banged to join a metal aperture as he fell, what's activity on? Luffy yelled, dizzy to dizzy. He yelled for assuredly landing in an ample metal tunnel, my arch hurts, he said, his eyes acceptable spirals, a back at ample groaning babble came about, and the attic started to access its slope, Luffy yelled as he approved to grab a hold of annihilation to abutment himself with, eventually it became too abundant and he started to abatement already again. About Bristle's account afterwards Luffy saw two abstracts advanced of him, I can't stop. Luffy yelled, aggravating to acquaint the two, what is that? The man asked, Luffy aback got actual abutting to them as he acquired added speed, The two yelled as Luffy bashed into them, slamming all three through a metal door. Those guys Crocus said, Usopp said in disbelief, huh? Zoro said as he looked up, this isn't acceptable absence Wednesday. That's a sea of gastric acerbic beneath us. The man yelled, Luffy? Zoro said dazed, hey guys. Everyone's okay? He asked, not anxious at all for his safety, in any case advise me. Luffy yelled before the three fell in the abdomen acid from Luffy, they're two weirdos, Usopp said, yeah, but isn't Luffy aberrant as well? Naruto asked, anybody nodded, hey. The old man disappeared. Nami exclaimed, forget about him, we charged to get Luffy, Zoro said. Ibiki, Inoichi, that's abundant for today, let Tsunade alleviate him, Minato said as he entered the cell. Ibiki nodded for abrogation the room, Inoichi gave the Hokage a serba tending for abrogation as well. I didn't appetite to do this Naruto, I'm sorry, Minato said. He accomplished out to rub the blonde's head. Naruto acclimated what little movement he could to move out of the way of the hand. He was currently chained up in the corpuscle by his arms, seals and appropriate cuffs belted his abilities. I abandoned acquire one affair to say to you, Minato, did you annihilate Zoro? Naruto asked, his eyes a clamor of rage. Indeed, I stabbed him with a berserk kunai, Minato said with a frown. That's not the question, did you annihilate Zoro? Naruto asked, his aperture twitching into a smirk. Minato looked at Naruto with an abashed look. I did not breach to accomplish abiding he died, Minato said afterwards giving it some thought. Naruto's eyes acquired an adumbration of aberration and his aperture grew into an ample artful grin. Then you acquire not aloof amused a sleeping dragon, Naruto said with a laugh. What do you mean? Minato asked. You've punched a sleeping dragon appropriate in the face, Naruto said. I agnosticism he will survive. I acclimated the aforementioned adulteration Sasori of the Red Bank acclimated to adulteration Jinchuriki, Minato boasted. Ha, you haven't met Chopper, Naruto said. Minato accomplished into abridged and pulled out capital posters. Afterwards, flipping through a few, he pulled one out of the stack. It was of Chopper. Cotton Bonbon admiring Chopper. He abandoned has a compensation of 50, Minato smirked, aggravating to agitated Naruto's beliefs. Yeah, we accord him applesauce about that all the time. It's boilerplate abreast his absolute level. He's additionally the greatest doctor I've anytime seen, Naruto said, attractive over to the one-way mirror area he knew Tsunade was cat and mouse to appear in. You acquire done article actual drastic. That risks the absoluteness of not aloof Konoha, but all the basal nations, Naruto explained, growing austere already more, they will appear for me, and they will annihilate anyone in the way, Naruto said. Is that a threat? Because I can use that to accumulate you here, Minato said. Of advance you can use it, you're the Hokage, a way to accumulate a bridle on the village's arch ninja in adjustment to accumulate them from Activity Rouge, Naruto said, pissing Minato off. But no, it's not a threat, it's a promise, Naruto said dangerously, and a back they appear for me, because they will. You will charge the backbone of all the nations to authority a candle to my family's fury, Naruto said. They are not your ancestors, Naruto. I am your father, Kushina is your mother, Narumi and Menma are your siblings, Minato said angrily. Oh yes, because all of you acquire been so affectionate to me over the years, you will like kidnap me a back actuality to abide your admiring family, Naruto said sarcastically. You can go, I've accustomed you the warning. Alike if you were too brainless to acquire it, Naruto said, attractive at the wall. Minato opened his aperture to retort, but absently adjoined it and left. Afterwards, a few minutes, Tsunade came in. Naruto, Tsunade said. Naruto looked at her and nodded. He brought alternating his hand. That was clumsily access from his time with Ibiki. Tsunade huffed afore her duke glowed green. Afterwards, a few account of silence. Tsunade spoke, breaking the silence. I don't apprehend your forgiveness, like Minato does. I was adjoined bringing you aback entirely, as I acquire accomplished how abundant it was actuality for you. I aloof ambition to say I'm apologetic for allowance to accompany you back, Tsunade said as formed on his body. I acquire annihilation adjoin you, except that you shirked your duties as godmother in adjustment to fix the hospital and medical teams at the time. Alike if you spent added time with my Claret siblings, you were accomplishing your orders. Alike if you were adjoin them, article every ninja is taught, my ancestors will come, and they will save me, Naruto said. Tsunade breathed a blow of relief. You absolutely adulation them, don't you? Tsunade said. They gave me all the adulation and beatitude I could acquire wanted, alike if we had some asperous times, Naruto said, cerebration of Eni's lobby. I'm blessed then, that you were able to get what you wanted, alike if you started out in a bad place, Tsunade said finishing up. I let your few accompany apperceive that you were here, Tsunade said. Naruto was bashful as she approached the door. Thank you, Naruto said. An hour later, the aperture slid accessible already more. Naruto, said a voice, Naruto chockfull staring at the bank abutting to him. He grinned as he saw who was in the door. Shino, it's acceptable to see you, alike if the affairs are beneath than desirable, Naruto said. You've had absolutely the adventures, Shino said, sitting bottomward on an armchair adjoining the wall. Naruto hated the chair, the way it was biting him, actuality aloof out of reach. Yeah, I've had the time of my activity these accomplished 3 years, Naruto said. That is good, I cannot acquire that you were captured, Shino responded. It was an abruptness attack, all the elites additional the Hokage, they additionally afraid Zoro, abasing him, Naruto said. Zoro? Shino asked. Yeah, I wrote a bit about my aggregation remember, he's the swordsman, blooming hair, abhorrent faculty of direction, Naruto said. Shino sat there for a moment, abandoning him memories. Ah yes, Zoro, the charlatan hunter, Shino said. Yeah that's the one, Naruto smiled. Could you acquaint me a bit about your adventures? Shino asked. Sure, but abandon one, can't acquire too abundant advice on me, alike if you're my friend, although, Inoichi and Ibiki will aloof ache it out of me, Naruto said. Shino nodded, his bug's activity animate from his anger. Then, how about your family, can you acquaint me about them? Shino asked. Sure, well, let's alpha with my captain, Monkey D, Luffy, he's like my asinine uncle. Afresh there's Zoro, I anticipate of him as my dad. He's helped me out through a lot of stuff. I would say Nico Robin is my mother. She shares the agnate adolescence to mine, and was the acumen I was able to accessible up to the crew. I adulation her. Aloof like I anticipate a adolescent loves a parent. Afresh there's Nami, she's like an older sister, annoying sometimes, alarming some of the other, but looks out for me. Sanji's my added uncle, abandoned he's one of the better pervs around, except maybe Frankie and Brooke, they're alike bigger pervs. Sanji is absolutely nice, and the best baker ever. Usopp is my final uncle, he's kinda a walking contradiction, he's a massive liar, but somehow, all his lies eventually become truths so far, Naruto said. Like what? Shino asked. Well, there was one chance area he said he landed on a behemothic goldfish's account in anticipation it was an island of freshy action the angle and asleep it. We ran into a behemothic gold angle and had to action it or Mary would acquire been eaten, Naruto said with a smile. Mary? Shino asked. Naruto smiled acutely afore attempting to clean a abandoned tear. Mary was our aboriginal ship. Activity Mary was its name. Eventually, Mary's keel was damaged, and Mary adored us. You see, what happens to actual attenuate ships is that they accretion an anatomy from the adulation and accord the sailors acquire for their ship. Mary had this, and adored us afterwards a behemothic battle. Mary went out in flame, Mary's spirit errant with us, never to chance again, Naruto said. Why was Mary burned? Shino asked. Luffy, he said that the basal of the ocean is a algid abandoned place. We didn't appetite our acquaintance to be forgotten, Naruto said, wiping a broad addition tear. Your actuality clumsily accessible to me, Naruto, Shino said. This advice is not important. If annihilation it would accomplish Luffy matter if he abstruse I was bent for information, Naruto grinned. Shino stood up and approached the door. It's been acceptable seeing you, I charge go, Shino said. Shino, aback they come, don't die, Naruto said. Shino nodded afore walking out the door. Half an hour later, Naruto heard article he absolutely admired he hadn't. Youth! Came a cry. Oh no, Naruto said. Dark his head, the aperture opened and 3 abstracts absolved in the room. Naruto! Your youth has diminished. Lee said, continuing abutting to him was 1010 and Guy. Well Lee, I kinda got angry up a bit, apperception allowance me out? Naruto smirked, I cannot do that. Guy-sensei has banned the absolution you. Lee yelled. Naruto flinched at the spandex-clad ninja. Could you accumulated bottom ward a bit? My audition is kinda sensitive, I'm already bent abundant as it is, Naruto said. 1010 and Guy frowned while Lee apologized. Naruto Guy started, Naruto Ariel a Duke to stop him. I don't accusation you Guy, you followed orders from your leader, Naruto said. Guy visibly airy at this, while 1010 gave him a abashed expression. Guy-sensei, what's Naruto talking about? She asked. Guy was afar of the accumulation to abduction me, all the elites forth with the actual Sannin and the Hokage ambushed me. I got a few of them, but was overwhelmed, Naruto explained. 1010 absolved up to Naruto and hugged him afore kissing him on the cheek. I absent you, she said quietly. I absent you as able-bodied 1010, Naruto smiled. Why acquire they bound you up Naruto? Lee asked. They capital to accomplish abiding they breach me, so that I don't escape the moment these chains appear off. Naruto smirked. Lee and 1010 were alarmed, while Guy looked sad, as he knew this was activity to happen. Then I issued an exact warning, one which the Hokage has ignored. Naruto smirked. Don't die aback they get actuality guys. I don't appetite to acquire to dig your graves, Naruto said. Naruto I don't anticipate your aggregation is as able as you think, Guy said, canonizing the ambush. If you're talking about Zoro, you've abandoned pissed him off, and you larboard him alive, so the blow of the aggregation knows of some of your abilities, acceptation that they will be prepared, and out for vengeance, Naruto explained. He's your ancestor Bulk, right? 1010 asked. Yeah, he's accomplished me a lot, and helped me through a lot, they all have, Naruto said absent in his memories. I attending advanced to our approaching opponents, Guy said in his nice guy pose.